I don't even get the ick like that. Like, I don't get the ick very easily, but in that moment, a small part of me wanted to never speak to him ever again. Hello, everyone. I have a story for you today about a guy who would not leave me alone. Hold on, my closet. Hold on. Also, look at my shirt. Okay, yeah, I have a story today about this guy who would not leave me alone. So
this all started in 2022 in like September, so it was at the very beginning of my junior year. So I was like 16. Keep that in mind because I was 16 and really stupid, right? 16 and dumb. Also, this is literally my second time filming this because the first time I filmed it, it was literally all over the place and it was so bad. I had zero script. I was just going right off of my memory on a whim and it was so bad. So hopefully this one is better.
Guys, there's like a bug on my desk. Okay, I killed it. It was like a spider or something. I don't even know.
Before I start, I just want to give a little bit of context. My mental health was really, really low at this point. It was like at one of its lowest it's ever been. I was just going through a lot. And it made, I feel like at a certain point in this story, my memory gets a little fuzzy because it was just a really bad era, so I just don't remember very clearly. Also, it happened 4 years ago, so some parts are a little blurry, but I'm going to do my best to, like, remember. Also, I was going through a breakup, and it's relevant to the story, but I was going through a breakup, and I was not looking for a relationship at all, and I was very self-aware of this because I was just mentally not in a place to be in a relationship at all, right? And I was also not over my ex, and me and my ex were also going through this phase where we went to school together at this time, so we were friends and we were on good terms, but we weren't over each other, and that was just really bad. Don't recommend. Honestly, in general, don't be friends with your exes. I'm not friends with any of my exes now. So yeah, don't be friends with your exes.
This story isn't about my ex, by the way. But it's just a little piece of, info. I just did my nails today. Okay, the first time I saw him was either during breakfast period or lunch, doesn't really matter, but I saw him and I just thought he looked cool. I saw him from afar. Okay, I'm not trying to be mean, like, for real. How I could describe him is that he literally looked exactly like Larry from Sally Face, so that's what we're gonna call him. We're gonna call him Larry. But I saw him talking to my coworker at the time, and this coworker could literally get a whole video, but I'm not even gonna bother because, but yeah, I saw him talking to my coworker. And so later, after school, at work, with said coworker, I was like, hey, who was that guy, like, that you were talking to earlier? And he was like, why? And I was like, I don't know, I just, like, thought he looked kind of cool, like, he seems like someone I would be friends with, like, I just see him talking to, like, other people I'm friends with, he kind of dresses cool, I don't know, and he was like, do you have a crush on him? No. But he tells me, like, I think all he tells me is, like, his name. I tried to get, like, an Instagram or something, didn't get it, whatever, don't care. So the next morning, my ex texts me, and he's like, hey, Larry is going around telling people that you're gonna ask him out. And I was like, what? I was so confused, like, because I literally haven't even properly met this guy yet or talked to him. And this should have been the first, like, red flag, but at the time I was kind of just like, this is just a really unfortunate, like, miscommunication. Like, coworker definitely said something to him that was super misleading, and now there's a big miscommunication, because how else would he come to that assumption that I'm, like, planning on asking him out? What? Like, I literally even told coworker that I didn't have a crush on him or anything like that, and my coworker also knew that I was not looking for, like, a relationship or anything like that. Like, I was not. So I was pretty pissed, super annoying, super, like, just the miscommunication of it all, super annoying. And now it's like I have to confront this guy and be like, yeah, so I actually wasn't going to ask you out. And also, I don't know why you would think that. Later on, and also at this point, I don't even have like an Instagram or his number or anything, a way of like contacting him. And he's going around telling people I'm gonna ask him out. And I don't even have like any way to like text him and like clear this up. But later on, we have one class where our classes were right next door to each other. And even before all this, we would kind of like walk the same direction, but we just never talked or anything. So that day when we were walking, I kind of stopped him and I was like, hey, and he was like, hey. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I don't remember this conversation at all. All I know is that Instagrams were exchanged, and I was kind of just planning on like talking to him about it later, because this passing period we only walk the same direction for like a couple seconds and then we part ways. So I don't even remember like what we really said. It was probably just like nothing, pretty much. And then we go about our day, whatever. So later that day we start texting, and he obviously brings it up. He's like, hey, I heard that you were gonna like ask me out, or that you liked me or something. And then he said that he also has a crush on me also, which was weird to me because keep in mind, we have never even spoke. Like, literally the only thing I know about him is his name. We had never spoke actually until this like text conversation, you know? But in the moment, I kind of just figured that it was kind of just like he had like a little hallway crush on me. Like, he just, I don't know, admired me in the hallways, but it was just nothing more than that, whatever, like not that deep. And, you know, I told him, I cleared it up. I was like, I'm so sorry about this. I'm sorry if you can hear my family, by the way. I'm so sorry about this, but it's a misunderstanding. Like, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. And keep this in mind. Like, literally remember this. I was so honest with him from the start, literally from this very first conversation. I'm not looking for a relationship. There's not going to be a relationship here. I'm not looking for a relationship. I don't want a relationship. I'm not in the right mental headspace to be in a relationship. I'm not over my ex. Like, literally worst time ever for me to be in a relationship, and I'm not looking. And I was very straight up with him about all of this. Like, I told him all of this. And this is the part that like baffles me, is that this first conversation, like, over text at first, he was so understanding. He was like, I completely understand. Like, I'm so sorry for, like, you know, jumping to conclusion or, like, assuming or something. I don't remember the conversation really, like, in detail, but I just remember he was very understanding. And I told him, I was like, I'm completely open to being friends. Like, I would not mind being friends with you at all. He was following like a bunch of bands and artists that I liked. So, you know, I was like, okay, we have like music taste in common, like maybe we can be friends. But also, I still didn't really know anything about him. Like, I was just going off like the bands that he was following. But then after we kind of had that talk, we kind of just texted for a little while longer, just kind of like getting to know each other, whatever. And I ended up telling him like why me and my ex broke up, but I was explaining to him that like I'm friends with him, we're on good terms. The breakup wasn't like bad really, it was just not a good like neither one of us did each other dirty. It was just not a good relationship. It didn't work out, you know, but we're on good terms and we're friends, we're cool. Keep that in mind. But I was kind of just like not ranting, but just like explaining like the reasons why we broke up. And I didn't really like go into crazy detail, but just kind of like the top notes. I don't know. But okay, that conversation wraps up, and this is the next morning, and immediately things were just not it. So okay, it was in the morning, right? It was like breakfast before class was starting. I was sitting by myself. I was probably just on my phone or something, and Larry comes up and sits next to me, and he's just like making conversation. Immediately the vibe was so just like weird and off. I just assumed that it was because he said he had like a crush on me, so he was probably just nervous. Looking back, I should not have tried to be friends with him because he had a crush on me. But in my head, I assumed that the crush would just kind of like die or go away because one, he didn't know me at all. I assumed it was just like some dumb little hallway crush, and I rejected him. So I assumed that like it wasn't that deep and the crush would just kind of go away. You know what I mean? But in the moment, I assumed that he was kind of just like kind of nervous and that's why he was being awkward. But it wasn't even that he was just awkward. Like it was just the energy, the vibe was just so weird. He was like over complimenting me, but it would be like he would always start it with like, I hope you don't find this weird, like please don't find this weird, but like just overly complimenting me, like my makeup, my hair, my outfit, my like everything, like, and it was just, he was just coming on way too strong when I literally told him straight up what the deal was yesterday, and we had just actually met yesterday. So yeah, it was weird. And then my ex comes up, and my ex is just coming up to like say hi, just talk about the random, like he's not coming over here to like start anything or like be weird. He's just coming up, is probably just gonna say hi for a second before he like goes off to class, whatever. And as soon as he walks up and starts talking to me, Larry literally goes, "Fuck off, dude." Like in that voice and everything. Fuck off, dude. Oh no, guys, I don't even get the ick like that. Like I don't get the ick very easily, but in that moment, a small part of me wanted to never speak to him ever again, because I was looking at him like, and I kind of said, I was like, it's chill, like I was like, it's fine, like it's chill, like it's okay. And also, even if it wasn't chill, like you don't know me, I don't know you, it's not your place to be like, oh, fuck off, dude. Anyways, super weird, super awkward. My ex literally like laughed in his face. It was very awkward. And then after that, we kind of just dispersed and went to class, whatever. Throughout this week, throughout this next like 5 days, I'd say, things just got increasingly weirder. And it wasn't even like a little bit by bit. It was like a very steep like increase of discomfort and weirdness. Like it just got really uncomfortable really quickly. He was always wanting to hug me, and I think I hugged him like maybe twice, like 2 or 3 times. And then I could just tell his intention. I mean, like, obviously, like, I was 16 and stupid. Obviously, his intention isn't good, but I, like, realized that. I was like, ugh, I always tried to give everyone the fucking benefit of the doubt for whatever reason, but I was like, I started just getting uncomfortable with hugging him. Like, I did not want to hug that guy, and so he comes up to me and tries to hug me one day, or like asks if he can hug me or whatever, and I like I'm like, no, like I don't want to. I like rejected his hug. And then later that day he like texted me, he was like, I'm actually having like a really shit day, like I really needed like a hug from you. Sorry, like, and that just felt so like guilt trippy to me. Like, why do you need like, what? But yeah, it was just kind of the same shit. Like, he was just coming on way too strong, doing shit like that, and just being weird. And it was just very, very clear to me that, like, oh, okay, he has, like, a crush on me, and it's uncomfortable, and it's not going away. And I kind of wanted to, like, silently create some distance without being too confrontational, because I was bad at that at the time, and I was 16 and dumb. But I was trying to kind of do it silently and hope that he would just kind of get the hint and leave me alone. But it felt like the more distance I tried to put between us, the more he just like tried to push for anything. Like, it was so bad. But in my head, I was telling myself that the discomfort wasn't that bad. Like, I was kind of just coping. Like, I didn't want to have to confront him about it. I just wanted to hope that he would get the hint and leave me alone. But then we get to, okay, my best friend Vivian, to this day, my queen, she was here for like all of this, because we were like this in high school, and she literally hated him from the start. But me and Vivian were sitting together eating lunch one day, and he comes up and sits right next to me. So it's like a circular table, and I'm sitting in between both of them, right? And I don't remember what we were talking about, but we were talking about like I don't remember the details, but we were talking about like our ID pictures and how like we don't like our pictures or whatever. And Vivian is sitting like with one leg up, and she's just like kind of chilling, whatever. She's wearing her ID, and it's falling like, you know, like where the ID would fall, and you have one leg up, you know. And she's like talking about her picture, and he's like, oh, let me see. And he grabs it off of like her like, what are you doing? Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what he did? Like, that is crazy. Like, he just grabbed her ID right up, like, in her personal bubble. Like, damn. And I don't even think that me and Vivian, like, said anything in that moment, because we were both just like, what the hell? And we definitely didn't, like, hide our reaction, though. We were both like, like, looking at each other like, what the hell? After that, we were both just kind of like, we gotta go to the bathroom. Both of us. We just told him that we were both going to the bathroom. But we both go to the bathroom, and as soon as we get in there, we're like, what the hell was that? Like, what the hell? And now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I was just like coping with it, whatever, didn't want to be confrontational, but now it's affecting my best friend, and I know she like already hates that guy, and now he just invaded her personal space like that is crazy. So now I was like, okay, I have to confront him. Like, I have to tell him to like kind of like back off a little bit. Like, later that day, he actually texted me, and he was like, hey, I've kind of noticed that like things have felt a little weird. Like, it kind of feels like it just feels a little distance. Like, he definitely picked up on the distance. I don't know why he didn't, like, he picked up that I was being distant, but he didn't get the hint that I wanted him to leave me alone. But whatever, I get people just don't pick up hints that easily. Like, I get it, but damn. But he kind of gave me the opportunity to be like, honestly, like, yeah, I have been kind of distant because you're coming on a little strong, and I really kind of like need some space, some distance. And I told him that. I was like, honestly, yeah, I need distance. You're just coming on too strong. I can tell that you still like me, and I'm uncomfortable. Like, I told him I'm uncomfortable. And I reiterated that, like, nothing's gonna happen. Like, I don't feel like that. I don't feel that way about him, you know? And this becomes a pattern, but he was kind of like, I brought this up, and he was like, he reiterated, like, oh, I don't have a crush on you anymore. Like, I don't feel that way about you. I only see you as my friend, blah, blah, blah. And he said that, but he was also like, but I completely understand. Like, I'll leave you alone. Like, I'm sorry. And I was like, great. So nothing changes. In fact, it gets worse. After I confronted him the first time, I think that honestly, looking back, if he would have just left me alone and then came back when he wasn't crushing on me and being super uncomfortable and weird, we could have been friends. We could have been cool. We could have been on good terms now. But he just didn't, like, give me space at all when I asked him the first time. And I don't just ask him one time. Throughout the story, I reiterate this multiple times. Like, I tell him this multiple times, like, leave me alone, basically. So yeah, after I confronted him, this is also when things start to get a little blurry in my memory, just because my mental health was already bad at the start, but this is kind of where it gets a lot worse. So this is where my memory is kind of really blurry. But again, the more distance I created, the more he just pushed for something. He would text me tons every single day, sometimes super early, like at 7 in the fucking morning. 7 in the morning, he was texting me like long paragraphs about just like the random, spamming me with reels and just posts and random shit. He would wait in areas he knew I would be at, and he would wait outside the restroom for me. Like in the morning, I literally started hiding in the restrooms in the morning because I knew that he would be waiting like in the cafeteria for me. I knew that as soon as he saw me, he would like rush up to come talk to me. And after I literally told him like, we need to, you know, but I was literally hiding. I started hiding in the restrooms every morning. And there was multiple times, like so many times actually, where my friends would text me like later during first period, like, hey, Larry was looking for you, like he was waiting outside the bathroom for you, I saw him. And I was like, oh, okay. That's another thing. He would ask everyone, like all of my friends, oh, where is she at, like he'd be actively like asking people and trying to look for me. And I'm glad that all of my friends understood and did not expose my location. Awesome. Thank you. He would always send me like really corny like crush memes, like I don't even know of an example, but like the stupid memes where it's like cats and they're like some cute like text over it, and also it started feeling like he was kind of like whenever he would catch me in a conversation, he would be like overly interested in like my mental health and just being really invasive about it. And what I mean by that is I felt like this might sound like a reach or a stretch, but like, first of all, you guys weren't there, but it kind of started feeling like he was fetishizing my mental illness. Like I was like, oh, depressed emo girl, let me save her. Like it kind of felt like he was like trying to be like a savior towards me. And there is a huge difference between someone genuinely caring about you and checking up on you and someone who just sees you as some like damsel in distress, like to save. And there's a huge fucking difference, and it just felt really gross because he didn't know anything that I was going through. Like the stuff that I was going through was very personal, at home stuff, in my head stuff, not some. He always would assume that I was just like upset about my ex. No, like I have way deeper shit going on than just like my problems with my like, and it was so irritating. Also, I know that people are probably thinking or wanting to ask like, why didn't you just block him? His behavior that he was showing at school, I knew that if I blocked him, it would have just got worse at school, because so far, like, obviously, I've been trying to put so much distance and literally telling him, like, to leave me alone, whatever. I knew, and, like, the more I did that, the more he pushed. I knew that me blocking him was gonna make it so much worse for me at school. So I was just coping, honestly. And also, yes, I did try to report it to the school, but the thing is that he went by a nickname. His name on his ID was scratched out, and I didn't know his real name. He wouldn't tell me, And I tried to get some of my friends to like ask or find out from me. He wouldn't tell them. I tried to ask like people that he's friends with. Nobody knew, which is so weird. Well, honestly, I only went to the counselor once. I didn't know his name, and honestly, I could have tried harder. I didn't, honestly, just because I didn't have much faith in my school. Honestly, I went to a really big public school, like a really big public school, and I don't know, I felt like it was kind of useless to just keep trying. He would constantly say, he would be like, do you want to hear something weird? And I'd be like, what? And he'd be like, yeah, so I had a dream, and like we kissed in my dream, but like I don't have a crush on you or anything, like I just see you as my friend. That would happen multiple times. And also throughout all of this, all the things that I just listed that he would do, this went on for like a few months. Like it went on for a while, and there was multiple times where he would say again, like, I feel like you're distant. And I would tell him multiple times, like, yeah, like I kind of need distance, and you haven't really given me that since the very first time I asked. Like, you're not only still coming on super strong, but it's even worse now. So, but every single time he would bring that up, like the, oh, you're being distant, and I would be like, yeah, I would like reiterate that. Every single time I would do that, he would reiterate again, like, I don't have a crush on you, by the way, like all those feelings are gone, like I don't have a crush on you, I only see you as a friend, blah 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 blah. And then he would be like, but I'll give you space, I'll leave you alone, sorry. And honestly, that started to piss me off a lot, because it just felt like, I don't know if invalidating is the right word, but it just felt like he was trying to be like, oh, I don't know why you're uncomfortable, like I don't even like you, like that's what it felt like. Also, what's crazy is, you know how earlier I told you that he would send me like paragraphs about just like random shit, and it would be at like sometimes 7 in the morning. Almost always he would start the text with like, hey, I know you want me to leave you alone right now, like I know you want distance, but, and then he would just fucking yap about literally random shit. Like he would either be like overly apologizing for ever making me uncomfortable, which just started feeling manipulative, because if you are saying sorry over and over and over again but nothing changes, and in fact it gets worse, you clearly don't mean it, and it just comes off as like you're just saying sorry because you think that that's something I want to hear, which it's not. I don't want to hear sorry, I want you to leave me alone. Or he would just be like overly trauma dumping, or just like talking about the random shit, like kissing me in his dreams. Like, what are we doing? Okay, but anyways, this goes on for maybe like 2-3 months, like 2 months, and it gets a lot worse. So it was, at this point, at least to me, it felt very obvious that I was avoiding him. Like, if I saw him, I would like pretend to not see him. I'd like walk the other way. I'd like walk faster to get away from him. I was very obviously like hiding in the restroom. He would sometimes wait outside of classes for me, like classes he knew I was in. He would wait out, he would like literally run after the bell fucking rang and like be outside my class. And in those classes, I would literally haul ass to like go an opposite direction like before he got there. And sometimes he would literally see me do this, and I don't know, it just became very obvious that like I don't want to see you. But again, I've said this, the more distance I created, the more he would persist. And he was already texting me a lot, but this is when it got really bad, to where almost every single day I would get a text at 7 in the morning, and it would be a long paragraph about how he would like confess that he did still like me, he did still have a crush on me, but like now he doesn't, now he's over it, now it's gone, you know. But then I would get these texts like all the time, so I'm like, clearly you still have a fucking crush on me, and it's bad, like, leave me alone. He would send me these paragraphs, and he would either be just like confessing that, and then he would just be like over apologizing for still liking me, and then he would be like trauma dumping, kind of like making an excuse for it. I know I sound evil as fuck for saying that, but again, you weren't there. And then after like all these paragraphs, I would always just kind of be super, super dry. This whole time, by the way, I don't know if I said this whole time, I have been so dry over text, or I just flat out wouldn't respond, obviously. But yeah, after he would send these long texts, I would tell him again, like, either like, you're good, like, I just need, like, from the over apologizing, I would just be like, you're good, like, I just need space, like, that's all I need. I would literally tell him, like, I don't need you to keep apologizing to me, I just need you to give me space, you know. And at this point, like, it was getting exhausting. I feel like I'm repeating myself so many times. Imagine how it felt in the moment. I felt like I was repeating the same shit every single day. And honestly, it felt like he was repeating the same shit every day with the fucking paragraphs. And he would just continue. After I would tell him, he would just continue to just be like, no, I don't have a crush on you though. Okay, like. And then after a while, he started to sometimes switch up, and he would try to insinuate that I like led him on, and that it was really unfair that I didn't like him. And I could tell that he started getting really like bothered and like irritated, like mad, I guess, but he was like trying to hide it, so I don't know. But I would call him out for it. I'd be like, I didn't lead you on, actually. I've been very honest with you from the start, actually. And then whenever I would call him out, he would backpedal, and it would just be again with the fucking apologizing and trauma dumping and whatever the fuck. And it was exhausting because it was every fucking day at like 8 in the fucking morning. Holy shit. So remember how I said that this started in September? Like, I'm pretty sure we either met in like August or September. So at this point, it's January. Okay, so spoiler alert, I ended up getting back together with my ex. You need to leave! But at this point, I was like, okay, maybe I can like kind of use my boyfriend to like ward him off further, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but I thought that maybe if I made like the fact that I had a boyfriend super public, he'd like back off, you know? But anyways, after I got back with my ex, I posted on Instagram notes. I posted an Instagram note, which I never do this. Like, I've never been like a notes user. And I posted like kind of a corny note. I think it was just something like, oh, I love my BF or something. And he replied to my note and was like, wait, do you mean boyfriend or best friend? Which, first of all, who the fuck uses BF and means best friend? Like, he was so obviously like coping, like he was sitting there like, please let it be best friend, please. But no, and I told him, I was like, no, my boyfriend. And he was like, oh. And I was like, this is where we have some text messages that I'm gonna read. Okay, this is a little side tangent, but I'm looking at this screenshot I have saved that I forgot to read earlier, but I just thought it was funny. He said, I know you're asleep, but I think that kind of confirmation that you didn't have feelings for me finally made my feelings go away. Which, confirmation that I didn't have feelings for him? Like, I didn't say that from the very beginning and continued to say it multiple times, but whatever. And then right after that, he says, also, do you ever think about dating me? Or like, or doing more than that, dating me or doing more than that, which, what I mean. What do you mean by that? And I didn't respond. But like, that's just an example of like the type of shit he would say. Like, what do you mean? Okay, so he replied to my note. He said, wait, like, do you mean boyfriend or best friend? And I said boyfriend. And then he said, oh, good for you, man. I said thanks. And then I'm not gonna read all of it because he low-key starts just trauma dumping. I'll sum it up. He's basically just ranting about he's really fucking sad because his dating life is so bad. And he also said that everybody that he catches feelings for ends up being a terrible person. Which, why are you insinuating that I'm a terrible person because I didn't like you and now I'm dating someone else? What? And then he kind of asks, he's like, so he was basically just like I just want to know like why you never liked me or why you don't like me or something like that. And I don't have the screenshot, but I'm remembering. And I kind of just reiterated again, like, I never wanted to date you. I made it pretty clear that I wasn't over my ex and that I was not looking for a new relationship and that I didn't like you, and also the fact that you made me super uncomfortable, and also the fact that I told you I needed distance and space multiple times and you refused to respect that, and also the fact that I've literally said all of this like 30 times. These are all screenshots I took like last week when I was originally making the first video, which was terrible, but and I just don't feel like going back to get more screenshots. These are the screenshots that I took, so I don't know. This is where he gets mad at me, like really mad at me. He said, I don't know how to feel about you at this point. I mean, I assumed that I was a rebound. A rebound? And then he said, I'll talk to you when I know what to tell you. Also, I wish I still had these screenshots, but during all of this, he would, like, send me a text, and I was, like, actively ignoring him, but I'd see it, and I'd be like, what the fuck, that's crazy, and I'd screenshot it, and then he would, like, unsend it, and I had a bunch of those, but I definitely don't have them anymore. They might be, like, on my old phone, but I'm not doing all that. They're probably deleted, I don't know. Then he says, I'm trying to be as respectful as possible when I say this, but I feel like you just used me to try to get over your ex, which didn't work, and now you're back with him. And that makes me think that any feelings or kindness you've shown me was fake. Will you please stop ignoring me and say something? Mind you, this was most likely during, like, first period. Like, please. It definitely actually was during first period because this message that I sent him, Vivian helped me write. Vivian helped me, like, articulate what to say. I said, Larry, I literally told you from the very beginning that I wasn't looking for a relationship and that a relationship wasn't gonna happen, and that I had just gotten out of a long-term relationship and I was still getting over it. After that week, I told you multiple times that I only saw you as a friend and nothing more. And then I said, I'm sorry for making you feel like I used you or led you on, but I literally told you the truth in the very beginning. The kindness I showed you was just as a friend. Not even as a friend. Just me being a decent human being. Why would I be mean to him? Honestly, I had every reason to be mean. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, I had every reason to be mean to him and I wasn't, which that's on me. I should have been meaner. I should have been super mean and maybe he would have left me alone. And then he sent me a paragraph just saying sorry over and over and again, literally just back with the same shit of over apologizing and trauma dumping. I just said, like, I just need space from you. Like, I just said that again. I just need space from you. And then he said, okay, then I'll leave you alone. Great. The next morning, at 7 a.m., he says, Bro, this text grills me because, like, I remember this specific text even before I got this screenshot, because I would still, like, remember this text, and, like, sometimes me and Vivian will, like, beat the dead horse and laugh about it, because what the hell are you talking about? But he said, I know you told me to leave you alone, but I'm not the one in the wrong. You are. You said yourself that you were trying to get over your feelings for your ex, and that y'all just broke up. Instead of crushing on me for a week, you should have taken a few months to be by yourself so you could truly get over him before even considering dating anyone else, because that means that you rebounded to me for nothing. What? I don't even know where to start. Also, I'm not even done reading the text. Let me continue. I had genuine feelings for you, only for you to not have any feelings toward me, which makes me feel like total shit. Okay, like I don't know how to feel towards you, but you've lost my trust, my respect. Don't lose my friendship. Like, I don't even know where to start with him. You should have taken a few months to be by yourself. Okay, first of all, most obvious point here, I told him from the start that nothing was going to happen, that I didn't like him, that I wasn't over my ex. I've said it, I feel like I've said this a million times, that I rebounded to him for nothing. This isn't the first time he's brought up this rebound shit. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Humble yourself. Because he was far from a rebound. The whole, like, I had genuine feelings for you, only for you to not have any feelings towards me, which makes me feel like total shit. Right there, he's literally acknowledging that I never had feelings for him, and that it makes me feel like total shit. Again, with the whole, like, guilt shit, like, and also, I don't owe him anything. Why would I owe him anything? I don't know why he has this idea that I, like, owe him something because he had genuine feelings for me. Hashtag not my problem. And then, you've lost my trust, my respect, don't lose my friendship. Like, do I even really have to say anything about that part? Like, also, the fact that he started this message with, I know you told me to leave you alone, and the fact that it was at 7 in the morning the next morning. Like, I feel like this text just sums up this whole fucking story perfectly. Like, and then, okay, keep in mind, this was at 7 in the morning, my mental health was really bad, I didn't have the fucking energy to deal with this. I said, sorry. Just one word response, sorry. Which I shouldn't have said sorry. I shouldn't have, because I wasn't. Even in the moment, I wasn't sorry. Like, I was pissed as fuck. And I was laughing. I was literally sitting with Vivian. I was like, bro, look at this shit. What the hell? And then he said, is that genuine, or did you say that to get me to leave you alone? And then I literally told him, I was like, honestly, I'm busy right now. Give me a minute to write out a response. Like, I told him that. I was like, I can't give you a response right now. Like, hold on. And then he said, okay then, period. Write out that response when you can. I said, if you really want to know, Larry, you've actually been pretty problematic since we've met. Okay, problematic, okay. I don't owe you an apology, a relationship, or even to be friends. Me and my boyfriend are none of your concern. I don't know what else I have to do to give you the hint. I can't help who I have feelings for. I didn't lead you on. I was honest with you from the very beginning. And then he fucking sends me another fucking paragraph about just apologizing, over apologizing, whatever. And then after that, I was just like, bruh, do what you want. Like, I just need space. And then he was like, okay then. He sends me another paragraph, let me see here. I think the same day. It was no, it's the next day. He starts the text with, I know you want me to leave you alone. And then he just apologizes again. He apologized for overreacting and harassing me. And at this point, these texts don't mean anything to me because I've gotten like a million of them. Whenever he says, like, whenever he owns up or like takes accountability or like whatever, I know that he doesn't actually mean it because nothing changes. He's just gonna keep doing the same shit. All I said in response was, I still need space. And then he said, I'll give you that. Are you sure? Because I don't think you will. And then he said, please tell me when you'd like to start talking to each other again. And I didn't respond. So that's pretty much all I have for those texts. After that, some time goes by and he does back off a lot. Like, he doesn't really follow me around as much at school. He only really sends me like a reel or like a random text every now and then, but it's not nearly to the extent as it was before. So I was kind of like, okay, finally, bliss, thank God. And then I think it was like early March is when I decided to leave public school and do online school because my mental health was definitely improving at this point. Like, things were getting better, but leaving public school was definitely the thing that I needed to do. Like, it was definitely the right call. And I remember I posted like a really dumb joke that was just like, I'm dropping out, guys. Just like a random, whatever. Okay, guys, it's a few days later. I'm pissed as fuck because I got an Amber Alert and it cut out the audio for the rest of the video and I didn't even realize until I was editing, so we're back. Hope they found him. Okay, the last thing I said was I posted like a really stupid joke that was like, I'm dropping out, guys. The next day I was walking in the hall with Vivian and Larry like runs up to us and he's like, oh my god, I saw your story. Like, okay, he wasn't doing all of that. He might as well have been. He was like, I saw your story, like, are you actually dropping out? Like, what's going on? Like, and he was just rambling, freaking out, and I was like, before I even got a chance to say anything, Vivian literally grabbed my arm, like wrapped her arm around my arm, and we start running away. And he literally like grabs my backpack and like is practically chasing us and tries to like pull me to like stop me and is like running with us. And Vivian is like, they're literally playing like fucking tug of war with me, which is crazy. But yeah, that's literally the last time I ever saw him. I'm so glad that Vivian like dragged me away. Good, thank you, Vivian. But yeah, that's the last time I really spoke to him. That's the last time I saw him, and that's pretty much the last time I spoke to him. I think after that, like the next couple of days, he sent me like a reel or probably like a random text or whatever. I didn't respond, and then I blocked him. So good riddance. Thank God. I have like a pretty small list of like people that I would hate to see in public, like that I would dread to run into, and he's definitely on there. Luckily, I have never run into him in public. He's never tried reaching out to me, never saw or spoke to him again. Thank God. And it's been like 4 years, so God bless. He's still blocked to this day. And that's pretty much the end of the story. Luckily, the audio cut out in the original video when I was practically done, so not that peeved about it, but yeah. Thank you for watching this. I really hope that you liked it. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm such a slow talker, such a slow storyteller. I feel like I ramble a lot. I have more stories planned that I want to do and I want to post, so hopefully it kind of gets better as I do them more. I have another video already filmed that I have to edit. It's like a whole mermaid inspired look, so I'm excited for that. Hopefully I post it and I don't decide that I like hate it while I'm editing it. So far, all of the videos that I've recorded, I'm always like, oh god, this is terrible. Like when I'm editing it, I just think of it so low. I'm trying to get over that though, and I'm trying to just post them anyway because who cares? Who cares, right? Who cares? I have another video that I'm gonna start filming today. I'm gonna turn that mirror back there into like a cute little monster mirror, and I'm super excited for that. I already have like all the supplies and stuff. The only thing is I don't know if I have enough fur, and I don't know how it's gonna turn out because it's a huge mirror, but no spoil. We'll see. Stay tuned for that. And then I have a few stories already that I already have like written down that I'm gonna film soon as well. So stay tuned, and I hope you liked it, and like and subscribe. Yeah, okay, bye.